Welcome everyone. Welcome to the series on adding power to Excel, making your Excel more effective to use on day-to-day basis. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, put your comments on any other new videos what you're looking at. There are a lot of new stuff which will be posted in the future. Now today what we are going to talk about is continuation on adding power to Excel for effective use of Excel. Is linking your worksheets and workbooks. Scenarios where we have information divided into multiple sheets and we want to consolidate everything in one sheet using formulas or using values from other sheets. Now the scenario what I have built up are two. The first one what I am going to explain you is talking about linking sheets within the same workbook. The scenario what I have here is I have built up some sheets here. Like I have a sheet for fixed expenses for salaries for the whole year. I have fixed expenses for the admin for the whole year in another sheet. I have variable cost of material which is there for the whole year in one sheet, variable cost of packaging for the whole year, variable cost of deliveries for the whole year. And what we want to do in this scenario is we want to calculate the total expenses as a summarized expenses for fixed expenses in the fixed expenses column in the total expense sheet and variable expense column for the total in the total expense sheet. And finally we will get the total expenses which will be the fixed expenses plus the variable expenses. How do we get the fixed expenses for a month? Would be, we all know, would be fixed expenses for the salaries in this scenario for a particular month. To that we will add the fixed expenses for the admin for that particular month and we would get the value for that particular month in the total expense sheet here. To get that value, what we need to do is first we will go, let's look at how we will do it. First we will go to the total expense sheet where we want the result, and here we will start typing the formula as a normal formula, normal calculation, which is a normal plus of two values, that is addition of two values. I will start with an equal to symbol, as we always start with a formula with an equal to symbol. We go to fixed expense salaries, FE salaries, pick up the value for the month of January, that is the first cell, and if you observe, it shows us FE salaries C3, that is fixed expense salary sheet, cell C3. To this, now what we have to be a bit careful is, because we have already selected the cell but we have not put any arithmetical operator, be it addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. In case we click anywhere else in this sheet, if I click anywhere else in this sheet, my cell reference changes from C3 to D3, D4 and wherever I click, but I don't want that, so I will just click on C3 and after that I will put my arithmetical operator of addition and I will go to the FE admin sheet and click on the salary for that month. In this scenario, we are not looking at the sequence of the data, we are assuming that the data is in the same sequence in all the sheets. In future videos, we will look at how to bypass that scenario where we might have data in different order in different sheets. As of now, let's keep up with that assumption, and now my formula is over. We don't need to go back to the total expenses sheet, because the moment we go back to the total expense sheet here, the cell reference changes from FE admin C3 to total expenses, whichever cell it is there. So we will simply press the enter key and Excel is smart enough to bring us back into the total expense sheet and show us the result. Now it's simple, we can simply copy the formula to the rest of the rows. Just observe the formula here. FE salary C3, C3 is a relative reference, FE admin is C3, which is again a relative reference. We have already discussed in the earlier videos. If you have not seen that, please go through those videos on cell referencing and you will understand what is relative reference and what is fixed reference and what is mixed reference. So coming back to the variable expenses. Now variable expenses, we'll do it in a different manner to understand another concept, that is what we call it as 3D referencing or 3D formula. Here what we are looking at is we are talking about 3 sheets: VC material plus VC packaging plus VC delivery. Now we all know that to do the total we can use a function called as a sum function. So we will use a sum function equal to sum, open the bracket, we will click on VC material, pick up the value from the first month, press the shift key, keep it pressed, click on the VC delivery sheet, and the formula becomes, or the function becomes sum VC material colon VC delivery C3, and we close the bracket here. Just observe the formula here, function here. It says sum VC material colon means 2 VC delivery C3. That means any sheet which is coming between material VC material to VC delivery, we have it, Excel will pick up the value from cell 3 and do the sum of this. Now in this case we have VC material, we have VC packaging and VC delivery, 3 sheets here. Now this method can only be used with 4 functions, that is your sum, average, maximum and minimum. We cannot use it for any other function or any other calculation. We'll have to use the cell by cell values to do the calculation, sheet by sheet, cell by cell values. There is a small word of caution here, is we are saying in our formula VC material to VC delivery. In this scenario, VC material, VC packaging and VC delivery. That means between VC material and VC delivery there is one sheet, that is VC packaging. Just in case you have some other sheets which are not within this range, are also there in your workbook, and unknowingly, unintentionally you move any one of these sheets between this range, like I have done that in this case where VC material and VC delivery we have 2 sheets, VC packaging and FE admin. My total expense change for the variable expenses. So but FE admin is not related to your variable cost, so this is a problem. So I will remove this. Another case can happen is by any chance if we move VC packaging outside this range of VC material and VC delivery, our total expense will again change. So with a 3D formula we'll have to be a bit careful. We will use that in scenarios where we are looking at sheets where we are not going to add any other set of sheets or any other sheet. Even if they move from here to there, they will not get affected. Now calculating your total expense would be as easy as this, and we get the total expenses. In my earlier videos I have shared something called as, in my earlier video on naming ranges, I had discussed about naming ranges and using them in our calculations. If you have not seen that video, kindly go through and see that video on the channel, but we will try to use that methodology here. What I am trying to do here is I will name the range of my expenses in the salaries and the admin sheet. So I will go to the FE salaries, select the range of cells, go to the formulas tab, define the name, and let's say I call it as FE salaries. Go to FE admin, select the range, define the name as FE admin, and now I will go to the total expense sheet and I will simply type FE salaries plus FE admin and press enter, and we will just copy the formula down. Okay. Name ranges can be used if you feel that there are too many sheets to be used in your calculation, then you can name those ranges and use them. This was the first part where we were talking about linking your worksheets. Now another second part of this is linking of workbooks. An interesting thing where we have a scenario where I have two workbooks. One workbook has a list of products with their product codes and the price per unit in dollars. Another workbook is the sales workbook where I have the products with a quantity sold in kgs, but we need to calculate the amount. Now this is a very common thing where we don't know what is the price of the product, or we don't want to share it with some people, and we just simply want to generate a report where we want to see the amounts. Now here the prices are in a different workbook, sales quantities have been given by the sales people in a different workbook. So what we do is we need to calculate that. What is the total amount generated for each product? So in the sales workbook where we want to calculate the amount, I simply go to the amount column for the product. Here again, please just note that we are assuming the product list in both the workbook is in the same sequence. I go to the product 1, amount, go to your, I can use the quantity sold, multiply it by the price of product 1, and no need to go back to your sales sheet, just simply press enter. Excel is smart enough to bring you back. Let's look at the formula definition which has happened here. Is something like this: C4 multiplied by price XLS, which is in square brackets, that means this is the name of the workbook I am bringing. Product details is the name of the sheet in that particular workbook. Observe the cell reference. When we are bringing a cell or we are bringing a value from another workbook, the cell reference always comes as a fixed reference, $D, $4. If we copy the formula the same way, we would not be getting the desired result, because yes, the product price of the first product would be considered for all the other products, which we don't want. So refer back to the cell referencing video where we have talked about mixed referencing. So in this case, I will remove the dollar symbol before the row number 4 so that it becomes a dynamic row number. It will change to D4, D5 from that workbook, and when we press enter, we get the result, and we will just copy the formula and we get the amount for each of these products. So you can see that we have calculated the amount of the sales based on the quantity and the price which is there in another workbook. Now there is a question which I would like to ask you, and you can put your answer in your comments in the comment box down. Is, in case you do not have this price sheet, that the price workbook, what would happen to the amount column in the sales workbook? Will we have an error value here, or we will be able to still see the result? So put your comments and I will acknowledge those comments. Hope this video would help you in becoming more effective and designing more effective worksheets and workbooks for your users as well as for yourself for calculations. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and put your comments in case you have any other further requirements.